Welcome back from lunch. Today we have a wonderful talk to get you started off this afternoon from Yuliia Barabash. She is a cloud engineer living in Munich, originally from Ukraine, and she's going to be talking about custom skills, teaching custom skills to Alexa. So I'll give her a big warm welcome for By Keyboard. Hello, Alexa. Take it away.
Thank you everyone, and today we will talk about how to get rid of your keyboard and introduce Alexa to your life. But before, I would like to introduce myself. So, as it was mentioned, I'm Yuliia Barabash. I am from Munich. I live in Munich, but originally from Ukraine. I am cloud engineer and work with different clouds, and now I work in the company NordCloud. And also, I love Python and love to do different things with Python. And I feel lonely today to be a speaker. That's why I brought another speaker, but it's a secret speaker. Maybe you can already know from my title, but let's assume you don't know. And let me introduce her. So she was inspired by a movie that also was mentioned, that is Star Trek movie, also like about fiction movies, that you can see some robots that speak, answer your questions. And one of them was a special inspiration. It's a Space Odyssey that was presented in 2001. The first one of the predecessors of her was created in Poland. After that, big company bought it. And now she can speak different languages. She can speak German, she can speak English, Japanese, French, and Spanish. And additionally, interesting fact about her, she was inspired by name the Library of Alexandria, because that library was like place for different knowledge, for a lot of books where people can access and get information. That's why the developers also wanted to have it as hub of knowledge where people can access this information. And if you may guess already, her name is Alexa. And let's Alexa also to introduce herself. Alexa, introduce yourself.
I'm Alexa, and I respond when you say my name. There are lots of things we can do together. Ask me to tell you a joke, read you a book, listen to music, or play a game.
Great. As she mentioned, she can do a lot of different stuff. She can read the news for you, she can check the latest news, and also give you small gist of news. Also, she can manage to help your smartphones, for example, turn on light, turn off light. Additionally, set up temperature for you. One of the stuff she also can do, help to manage calendar, reminders, events. Also, she can play music for you and play a series or tell some jokes. But in case, as we are developers, we are very powerful and we like, okay, let's do something for us that can ease our life. For example, manage some Jira issues or to get feedback or to read emails, to get some information from emails or just daily statistics you want to hear every morning. And it's possible to do with Alexa, especially with Alexa custom skills that we will talk about today. So today we will focus how to develop Alexa custom skills, after which you can use Alexa and she can create some commands, she can do some commands for you. And let's start with explaining how Alexa understands us. So when you tell Alexa, help me with Jira project, she understands the key words in the phrase Jira project, and she like, okay, it's my time to shine, and I want to help her. And she will tell you how I can help you. And at that moment, I will answer what my current Jira project. She understands this. She understands my intent that I want to check Jira project. And after that, she will process this event according to implementations that I will do. And if we will check like as a diagram, we can check when I tell like Alexa help with Jira project, that time custom skills are invoked and they're waiting for the next question. It enters the mode of custom skills and wait for the next question. When it receives the next question, it maps this question to your intent. And according to what kind of the intent, it will send for processing. It receives response, and after that, this response will be presented for user. but how overall the architecture will look like. The overall architecture is look like that we have Alexa, to which we speak about. She has some tools to define intent, to define variables, to build like body JSON request and send to the Lambda. Lambda will process this information and send response back to Alexa, and Alexa will answer us. Great. It's simple setup that's possible to do. But how we can build these custom skills? For building custom skills, we need like 4 different things. We need invocation command, we need intents, we need our iterants, we also need our slots. And now let's talk what which of them means. So our invocation command is basically command with which you invoke your custom skills. For example, I want to invoke developer projects to know my projects. I just say, okay, Alexa, open developer projects. She will open the respective custom skills. For example, if I want to do my working routine, I just tell, okay, start my working routine, and it will open our customer projects. And now we all have our customer skills open. But in case we want also to execute different intents. For example, I have intent to check my Jira task, or I have intent to check the status of Jira task, or to list all projects. She needs to understand this. That's why we have different intents that represent our actions that we want to do. And one of these examples of this intent, we can see, okay, Alexa, plan my trip. And in this moment, she understands, okay, she wants to travel from point 1 to point B. Or Alexa, check my current project, and she understands, okay, she wants to check her current project. I need to read her current project and answer her. But we need also to associate our phrases we are going to use with our intents. And that's why we have utterance. Utterance is basically a set of phrases that represent an intent. The set of phrases that represent intent, it's basically phrases that can be set of different sentences. Okay, for example, we have Jira project, and for Jira project, we have different sentences that can represent this intent. For example, Jira project intent can mean what's my current projects, or what projects I am currently working on. And this moment she understands, okay, she meant like that intent, and I need to process requests for her. Or for example, I want to travel from Bratislava to Munich. Her intent is plan trip, and I understand that at this moment I need to plan her trip. Great. Also, Alexa is pretty powerful and rich. In case of tools, it has predefined intents for you. For example, if you want to build some application where you want to manage music, it's already there are some events that you can, okay, what genre of the music it understand, what kind of the singer, what my favorite song, and so on. Additionally, for TV show, it will understand what kind of the TV show do you watch. You can watch, or what actors were part of that movie. It also there's intents for forecasts, where you can ask about the weather. Intents for the libraries. About the books, you can ask about like from some kind of the books that you like to read. Also for calendar, for example, manage your calendar, create an event, delete an event, create a reminder, or to tell like when my brother have birthday. Additionally, if you also want for your business, there's possibility to create for your business. For example, what o'clock your business is open, order like pizza for me, or order some stuff for me. It's all about intents, but also in our statements, we can change some words, depends on contents. For example, there's like the words that we change depends on the target we want to do. It's called slots. So slots is basically placeholder for our values that we want to change in the sentence. And one of the example is that we want to change the status of Jira. We want to check what's the status of the Jira task. And you can see that instead of Jira task ID, we specify placeholder, Jira task ID. And in this case, Alexa will know that this value should be passed as a slot with identifier Jira task ID and sent to Lambda, and this value can be reused for our requests. Also, there's different types of slots that I really like because, for example, it's also very powerful. So, for example, you predefine types for number, dates, and time. For example, when we tell the phrase, okay, I want to travel tomorrow, we cannot pass like tomorrow or our code, or I want to travel in months, we cannot pass this value to our code because we need to handle a lot of cases. That's why Alexa understands the date tomorrow, 3 months ago, 3 weeks ago, and translate it already to the date value and send this value to your code. Additionally, what it also understands, for example, if you want to spell a word, in case of Jira task, you cannot, sometimes we have like weird names, for example, GTME-134. Alexa also can understand this and translate this word to identifier and also send to the backend, so you can use it. What's the interesting stuff? It also list types, where you have types that set of different data. For example, for actors, animals, country, airports, it has set of predefined values. You can extend it, but more I like that also have entity resolution. So even you misspell some of words, it will still match your entity to one of the entities because it has like entity resolution. Phrases, in case you have like phrase that not predefined, it can change. So it also you can specify, okay, it should be a phrase there, for example, where is good restaurant, and you will receive this. And custom slots, you create custom slots where you specify set of your values. For example, for Jira statuses, I want to have like set of values, and I can specify, okay, it's to do, in progress, or it's done. Also, I can specify synonyms, so even person tells another words, I still can find a match between them. And now, overall, how it looks. So basically, how it looks like here definition of our intent, Jira task description, we have intent, we have iterants for it, for basically it can be what is the description of Jira task ID, and also read descriptions for Jira task ID. At this moment, when she hears these phrases, she will understand, okay, her intent, Jira task description. Additionally, we specify slots, that one of the slots, Jira task ID, is our placeholder, and also alphanumeric value. So when I spell it, identifier, she will translate to alphanumeric value and pass to the backend. So it's quite powerful. One of another thing that we need to do is discuss how overall our architecture looks like. So our architecture looks that we send requests to Alexa. After that, Alexa parse intents, parse slots, pass some additional information, and can gather information for your phone, for example, what your current location or what's time and so on. This all information will pass to the Lambda. Lambda will get this information, pre-process, and send back to response. But how it can be done in the Lambda? So in the Lambda can be done by Alexa Skill Kit SDK. So it was the special SDK that can simplify our life because it already have predefined sets of tools. So it have predefined set of tools that can be a wrapper around Alexa request. For example, here we can see like we have a house and our basically foundations is these important wrappers. For example, skill builder is where we will use later for build our skills. Basically, it has method to handle requests, handle exceptions, handle interceptors, global interceptors. For example, before receiving requests, after sending response, you can want to log it. Also, you can send some information. Handle input, it's what we receive as value to our method. And handle input, it basically contains, for example, a response builder, where we will build our response and tell Alexa what to answer. Also, what it contains envelope, request envelope, where we have all information from our request session information, where if you want to share this information between your requests, you can store it in session. What else we have? Also, we have context and other stuff. But now we will talk about how basically we can create our request handler. So as there's already a foundation that manage everything. What we need only define, we need to only define the request handler that will handle our specific intent, what we want to do and what we want to execute. And inside this intent, we can pass the values for handler input. And also we can build response using response builder. Right. And now it's example how to build like skill builder. The first thing what you need to do is to create instance of a skill builder. And that skill builder basically keep values how to handle your request and also how to handle your exception. Because in case you have some exception, you can still have method to handle it. And here another part of the code when we will discuss how we can handle our first command during opening custom skills. You have launch request that you receive from Alexa. And you can see that we have request handler that we use as a wrapper. After that, we specify, okay, can handle function. Is this type of the request should be launch request? When we receive a launch request, we execute this method. After that, we access response builder inside request input and tell, okay, speak, hi, I can help you manage Jira projects. And after that, she will ask again to keep a session open. And these values that we pass here, she will ask again in 10 seconds if she will not get response immediately after this phrase. After that, we just from our response builder send response, and that's all. We have our first part of implementation. Another thing, in case we have different intents. For example, Jira project, Jira status, so on. We need to specify different functions for it as well. Here we have request handler. Inside request handler, we specify how we can handle it. Also, we specify the name of the intent. After this, we specify what kind of intent. Okay, it should be Jira project. Here we preprocess everything for this event. It's basically URL to Jira API where we will get our projects, headers that we want to pass, our response that we want to get. So it should be get response. We send our response. Here we send our response. Basically here we have our response. We have our projects. And we extract the name and the key of the project and change it as a string and pass this string as to speak, as variable to speak, and this speak will be answered to us. After that, we want to again keep our session open so we can ask the next question. And we send response back. And now it's time for demo, and now time to introduce to Alexa. Oh, no, I should not enter. Okay, to introduce to Alexa console. So in this part, I will show you two things, developer console, and I will show you as well my Lambda. So what we should do in developer console to make magic around. The first of the thing we need to define our invocation name. In our case, it will be developer projects. After that, we have different intents. Some of them are predefined, for example, cancel intent, stop intent, fallback intent, but here, three of us that was defined by us. And what of them is easiest one? It's intent, Jira project, where we specify phrases by which we understand that, okay, this intent is matched. These phrases should be matched to this Jira project, to the intent Jira project, and we specify what my current Jira project, and which Jira project do I have. And these phrases will be matched to the Jira project. Another one interesting, Jira task status, where we define, where we want to ask what is the status of Jira task ID. And here you can see that Jira task status can change depends on the variables that we want to pass. The variables that we want to pass, and here we define our slot and type of this slot. Usually it's basically Jira task ID, it's a name, and here we have different types. It's alphanumeric type. We have additional types here. What is also important here, that we need to, in case we want to have additional types, for example, Jira status, here we define additional type, Jira status, and we have ready for launch, in progress, or to do. How it's also important to connect, like you need to go, like here I have some information so I can share, but basically in the endpoint page, you need to specify endpoint for your Lambda, and after that you have connection. At the end you build your skill and it's ready to be executed. Yes. So if we go here to the Lambda and we can check our implementation, we can see it's a part of codes that were discussed. So we have our skill builder. We have our request handler where we handle our launch request and say how can I help you to manage Jira projects. After that, we have our help intent, cancel or stop intent. In case the session ended, we also can handle it. Another what we interesting in the Jira projects, where we get our URL and we basically intend for our Jira project, and basically according to the URL, we do request to our Jira endpoint and get our current projects. And here we can get our Jira task status as well, where is the intent of Jira task status. We can see that here we handle input. We get our Jira task ID from our handler input, where we access request envelope, request, intent, slots, and its value. And here we send that, okay, it should be an issue with this following ID, Jira task ID, it should be post. After that, we check if we have issue not found, no issue found. If we check, we speak summary and the status of it. Great, and now it's time for demo. And with demo, we will speak with Alexa. So let's check. Open developer projects.
Hi, I can help you manage Jira projects.
What my current Jira projects?
Go to Market Sample with key GTMS, my Kanban project with key Con.
Okay, it's a small part of the demo. If you can see, she was able to access my projects. My current project, it's just demo, like demo Jira board. It was able to access my projects and to return to you information, also to send key. But in case I want to check the status of the specific issue, for example, this one, we need again to run, and we need to use the following intent for checking the status of the issue. We should ask what's the status of the following issue, idea of the issue. It will send request to our Lambda and will process it. Okay. Open developer projects.
Hi, I can help you manage Jira projects.
what is the status of GTMS-16?
No issues found.
What is the status of project? Oh, sorry. I need to try again. Open developer projects.
The PyCon skill can't help you with that.
Sorry, it's typical demo. Open developer projects.
The PyCon skill can't help you with that.
What's the status of GTMS-16?
No issues found.
What's the status of GTMS-16?
Summary. Launch ad campaign with status. To do.
Finally, so it was able to understand that the idea of the issue GTMS-16. It extracts this information, sent to the backend, and after that, it processed and sent back response to me. It was a small demo, and if we check again what kind of stuff we also can do, for example, what of the interesting stuff that you can do, it's also account linking, for in case you want to link account to the third library. Order Uber for me, you need to associate your Amazon account to account inside the Uber company. So via this, you can implement the way how you can associate the link between. Also permissions, for example, permission is also important because with Alexa, we can personalize our response. For example, it's possible to have voice ID, but every person has specific voice, and according to this voice, we can also do some customization of that response from the person. One of the important stuff to know that for distribution, you need to send to pass the certification, but in case it's your local project, in case you just need to log in the same credentials to your Alexa app, and after that, it will be accessible to you. And it was everything for demo, and if we do conclusions, we know that Alexa have a rich set of pre-built functionalities that can speed up your development. Also, it's possible to do personalization of requests in response. For example, if you want to, because you can get voice ID, and according to the voice ID, you can customize your response and send back. For example, it can remember that Yuliia likes movie comedy. So if I always ask about what kind of movie I want to watch, it will understand that she likes this kind of movie, so I need to recommend. Integration with AWS Lambda, you don't need to develop a lot of stuff. Also, Lambda is very cheap to implement. Also, possibility of authentication by using PIN. For example, if you need to do payment, it's possible that user have a PIN. And also possibility to account linking in case you need to integrate your Alexa with other account in another company. And that's all. Thank you for your attention. And now we can ask questions.
Thank you so much, Yuliia. That was such an interesting talk. It looks like we have a bunch of great questions for you. So it looks like the first one up there is, do you have full control over what happens to your data? For instance, in your example, what if the Jira issue contains sensitive information?
So for my Jira, I use my API key. For my Jira, I use my API key, and I believe at the end of the day, it depends what you send requests to your Jira, because the main implementation happens inside your code, and this code managed by your site. So the implementation code is on my side. It's only Alexa. I am responsible for what I send. So in case I believe sensitive information, if you don't send some sensitive information back to the Alexa, maybe you can avoid, but I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure. Additionally, with Alexa, there's permissions. So in case you install Alexa, you install the skill, Alexa should specify what kind of permission she needs. and you need to agree to it. If you don't want to allow to do certain stuff, this will not be installed inside your Alexa. That skill will be not installed. I hope I answered this question.
Great. Yeah, thank you. All right, so the next one, how can I make Alexa talk to a service running on my local network? For example, Home Assistant.
For example, Home Assistant. Sensitive service running on my local network. So basically, as I show you, that Lambda is basically like middleman. So in case you can access your service running from Lambda, you can make some API calls to your service. I believe it's possible, except if it should not be accessed from Lambda, from Alexa. Alexa needs only access to the Lambda, and your running service should be accessed from Lambda. And it's kind of hard because Lambda can access only public APIs. It's a very good question. But also, unfortunately, it's hard to tell. But one of the stuff I can tell you that also with Alexa it's possible to send not only to the Lambda, but to REST API. So in case you will find the way how to send requests to your REST API on your local network, it's possible. But if it's not possible, it's very hard to tell. So unfortunately, these questions, it's very hard to answer. Yeah.
Thank you. All right, so the next one, let's see. Conversation with Alexa being linear, just like the teletype terminal 50 plus years ago was, would it be practical to re-implement, re-implement old and reliable Unix tools, such as the ed editor for Alexa? Then we could edit Python code while riding a bike.
Well, it's very good questions. Well, it's very hard to, I think it's very hard to debug with Alexa, for sure, because half of the implementation is not writing code, but debugging the code and fixing your bugs. So I'm not sure if you can do like the whole code editors inside your Python, inside your tool. But what I like Alexa that, for example, you can summarize. You can ask about status of your pipelines, or you can send push notification to Alexa, because sometimes I forget about deployment of the pipelines. So it would be nice if there's some kind of tell me, okay, you need to deploy the pipeline. You need to check your pipelines for project. Yeah.
Okay, we've got some. Great, thank you. We have some time for a couple more questions, maybe one or two more. So we have, how precise do you need to be in the definition of the question? So when I define, give me my Jira projects, will Alexa handle my function when I say, give me Jira projects?
Let's check. Give me my Jira projects.
From Thinkio.
Okay, no, it's wrong. Open developer projects.
I found a few matches for that.
No.
Did you mean?
Sorry, it's demo time. It's always like this. Open developer projects.
I found a few matches for that. Did you mean Saperman?
No. Open developer projects.
Hi, I can help you manage Jira projects.
Give me my projects.
The PyCon skill can't help you with that.
Give me my projects. No, wait, I know. So basically what's the problem here? Give me my Jira projects. No, it will not work. But the thing is that, yeah, it's possible, but the thing that you need to specify here all different sentences or inside your intent, all different sentences that here. all different sentences. For example, in case you want to show, you need to specify, give me my Jira projects. But I believe my Jira project will just work. I need to just scroll down and like developer projects.
Hi, I can help you manage Jira projects.
Give me my Jira projects.
The PyCon skill can't help you with that.
No, it doesn't work. But here you can just specify, give me my Jira project. So as far as the one of the phrases is specified here, you can reuse it basically.
Awesome, great. Thank you so much. And if you guys have any more questions for Yuliia, I'm sure she'll be around. So, all right, awesome. Thank you so much for your talk. Big round of applause.